site. They're looking to pick up trash and debris and looking for any red flags, such as a irrigation break or something to report to John's to.
Right.
They would be, they're not doing the maintenance on the irrigations.
Okay.
Can we push this off till next month?
Sure.
Yeah, Phil was the
Because
one
I'd
that was
rather have this,
passionate about it.
him, and also I'd like John to be here for
John,
any kind of
yes.
I agree with that. That's fine.
Absolutely.
We will defer.
So we'll put that for January. Okay. Sorry, Chuck, I didn't mean to...
Oh, no worries. The true apples to apples, you've got to actually back out some of the things that are actually part of your landscape budget that you're going to continue to expend anyway. So it looks like 100,000 on the surface savings, but in fact, when you start backing out some of those things, you're still going to have to incur costs on. It's closer to like 50, 40.
That's where I was looking too. I was
Right.
thinking about 50 grand. And if somebody wasn't going to be here or they weren't going to be working here every day, I was like, for 50 grand, it's like $6 a month more per
Yeah.
door to
Right.
have people in here 5 days a week.
I had it at pretty much a net, and then I looked at the communities that they serve, and the thing that I can tell you is after the last hurricane, those communities were in disarray for a very long period of time where we were not. So I'm open to it. I mean, if John said it was a good thing, I would entertain it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
kind of dead for me.
We'll continue that in
Yeah.
January then.
okay, very good. Okay. Tony, the update on the zoning?
Yes, I'll just pass these out. It's sort of confusing. I reached out and contacted Mr. Chiaffi and his attorney to ask what the status was. I'll just read you the emails in sequence.
Okay.
December 6th from Mr. Chiaffi at 2:47 p.m. I finally have a letter of credit sorted out for the village to record the plat. I'm waiting on Al, I guess architect or engineering, to finalize changes to the development order regarding infrastructure. Then I'll submit the plat to recording and obtain the development order. He's paid $532,000 to buy the wetland credits, so the South Florida Water Management District permit should be issued shortly. No new news on sites 3, 4, and 5 as end users. Still talking to all these and others. I'll keep you posted. So then I sent an email to Jim Hart at the village and asked him, Jim, advise us the status of the plat, because I sent him the email I received from Mr. Shoppy. Jim Hart on December 7th said, to date we have not yet received a revised plat of the site. Based on discussions with the engineer, they are preparing the revisions, but they did not give an anticipated submittal date. Then, that same day, December 7th, but in the afternoon, Mr. Chaffee says, here you go, corkscrew infrastructure full site development. We are recording the plat for tract B as one parcel, S3. Once we know who is going on that site, we'll add a lot lines later. The village is fine with that approach. So basically, it sounds like Mr. Chaffee is more ahead in what he believes is going on than what the village is indicating is going on. These are a copy of the development order plans. They're dated as of October of 2023. That's what Mr. Chaffee sent me, and we sent it on to your district engineer to look at it to see if there's anything of interest in here. And I do appreciate Jim Hart and Mary Gibbs and staff at the village.
They've been great.
Very good as far as being responsible when I ask questions. Give them the straight information as to what the status is. So right now, there had been, this document has not yet been submitted apparently, or the plat has not been submitted, revised to the village, and I'll just ask Jim Hart like once a week. I know during the holidays, nothing will happen, but
No.
we'll find out. So that's the current status. So you all know as much as I do, and it's kind of cryptic from Mr. Chiappi's email.
Yes. Very cryptic. Okay.
Tony, this Newbridge Court, this road that's going to come off of ours and run past these tracks, who owns that? Is that going to be maintained by a village or?
Well, I believe that's included within this roadway. It's part of that property, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
Subject to easements, I believe, if I recall from the past. I'd have to double check. And the plat would reflect what entity is dedicated, what easements and rights and what obligations exist.
Okay.
This isn't the plat, these are development plans. So that would help answer the question when we get the proposed plat.
Got it.
But I believe it is on the developer's property entirely, I believe. And again, I'll just keep following up with Jim Hart. He's been very, very helpful.
Yes, that happened. Okay,
Thanks for the
Chuck?
update.
Oh, I'm sorry. Road resurfacing?
Yes, the LDO was issued by the village early last week. And we are under contract with the contractor at this point. So next steps will be the notice of commencement and sitting down and having a pre-construction meeting where we'll be talking about the schedule and building that out, if you will.
Okay.
Once that's completed and everybody is comfortable with that schedule, then my recommendation would be to post it on the website for the CDD, push it perhaps out through the association through an email blast, and let the residents know, and also let everybody know that it's subject to change.
Okay.
But it'll be our best guess to start with, and it's going to be a couple of month kind of project, as I see it, 2 to 3 months at least. So
Okay.
with primarily the concrete work starting initially. So
Okay.
all your concrete work, probably your sidewalks that will be off the beaten path, and then I would expect that they'll work from farthest point in, backing their way out of the community is how I would anticipate that they would work, so they're not doing a lot of heavy turn radiuses on brand new asphalt as they're backing out of the community.
Okay, so I guess Wyndham and Weymouth, or?
Obviously, I'm not going to dictate to them.
Right.
That's how I would anticipate that they'll do, is they'll back out of it
Yeah.
and striping coming along right behind them.
Okay.
When you say sidewalk repair, this is the sidewalk that goes along, like in people's property lines, or is this the
You
sidewalk?
you get sidewalk throughout the community, running parallel with roads. You've got kind of the off the beaten path sidewalk that we added to the project as well.
Okay.
So those
walking
things
path
that
as
are
well.
off
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
pavement itself, I expect that they'll address all of that first, and then they'll come in and they'll mill and repave, working themselves backwards out of the community.
Starting with the gutters, then the street.
And as you pointed out earlier, good information is that all of the garbage, horticulture, and recycling are all on Monday, so that helps
Right.
a lot,
So,
minimizing disruptions.
yeah.
Is there a report that shows what sidewalk repairs they're gonna do? I was just walking
Yeah.
along this one, along here, and like, I'm just kinda curious.
There's the Johnson report from, I want to say, a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
And that one also included a timeline, which has now blown up because we're doing them all at the same time. But
Right.
at
That was
time, they were
a
talking
5-year
That was gonna be a
program.
5-year plan.
Based on age and level of deterioration.
And that
Actually,
was-
that was going to start in 25.
But
It was
that will help to identify for you where it's all taking place. I also had sent the link out, I believe, to all of you, and send it again
Yeah.
with the actual plans themselves. And Eileen's actually got the sole hard copy that I was provided, so she wants to lend it around so you all look at it, but I'm happy to resend the link.
Actually, I need to get that on the webpage.
Yeah, send the
Let me see
link
if I can
again.
do
I
it.
may have
Remember, it's
overlooked it.
ADA
Feel free to
compliance.
hold on to that and look through it.
That creates issues, but.
I read it last night.
I forgot about that.
I think we can do it.
Do what?
The ADA compliance, I'm putting a set of plans on the website.
Put it on the website, but that whole ADA.
Oh, yeah.
If we can do it, we'll definitely do it.
Okay,
Maybe hard to link to it somehow.
okay.
Yeah, it's a big file,
Yes.
very large file.
Okay. Chuck, do you think they'll be starting the concrete work before?
Our
next meeting?
I would expect sometime between after the holidays and your next meeting.
They'll be doing the
Really,
concrete work?
I'm thinking somewhere probably mid-January.
Okay.
Do you think, I'm sure they need to be aware that buses come through here? That they wouldn't be thinking that the buses stop outside the community, the school buses?
I mean, they work around all of that stuff.
I'm sure they do, I just make sure they are aware of that, because some might assume that the buses stop out on Corkscrew as opposed to coming in.
I'll make sure they're aware of that. So.
Okay. Yes, Dennis?
Let me know what you want set up, when you want it set up.
Okay, as soon as I get the information.
I'll make sure it gets out.
Okay. Yeah, once I know when Collier's going to start with the concrete work,
Okay.
I'll send that to you, and,
And we'll send it at least twice.
yes. And then, once I know what streets they're doing, we're doing the the right side or the left side or whatever streets.
You know, when they're gonna start.
Yeah,
I can send that out, like an update.
weekly.
We need to.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably what we'll end up having.
And we'll send both, every time we send something, we'll send it twice.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Sounds good. You're welcome.
Okay. What are we up to now? The financials from October. And Jeff Pinder will be sending the financials for November out to us through Chuck for, through
Yeah, I would expect probably in the next week.
Okay, so we'll get the November financials in December. Does anybody have any questions with anything? General fund. We're doing well with the cash, which is great, and that's been paid.
And you even got a little bit in October in assessment collections, which is something I haven't seen before. So they must have sent the bills out early and some people jump right on.
Some
paying
people
their
just jump on them,
assessments.
yes. So we should be having some, which is great. At least people are still paying those. We're doing fine with the bond payments. Irrigation fund, we're doing good with that. All right, so we still have money, we've already transferred this, the money due to the golf and due to the general fund?
Oh, yeah, golf was made whole.
Yes,
I
okay.
think what's showing now is due to golf, I believe, is where we share some of the personnel costs.
Right, okay, so we're up to date with all that.
Correct.
Okay, irrigation. Hello?
Just somebody calling into my phone.
Oh, okay. Our cash last week, I don't remember, was 300 and, I forget.
330, I think.
330,000, so cash-wise, we are really doing well. And as of October, for the first month, we had a credit balance at the end of the month. Golf course, you did great in October.
On the sand trap loan,
Yes.
I know it's coming up here in February. Do we have reserves already in place for that, or is that going to be, is there any type of reserve stipulation on that one, where it would apply to this last payment?
No.
Small amount, I think it might be 10 grand.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
when I
like,
take those out with Synovus, they don't do a percentage, they just do
Okay.
like a flat.
The only thing
I
that
was
they...
just wondering if we
yeah.
were on the hook for the whole 60, roughly 65,000, or if we had some, which sounds like there's something in there, but
Right, but we had to make sure we had held in the irrigation fund that we had cash available should we not make a payment. I think that was the stipulation back then.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, but no, there was not a reserve set aside. Building maintenance. Okay, we're good with that. All right. Guys, do you have anything else with the, we seem to be doing well. Jeff, do you have anything?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Adam?
no.
Phil? Okay. We're getting close to paying off the bond. Yay! Okay, can I have, oh yeah, so this will be paid off in February, great. Can we accept the financials?
Make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes for the October meeting. John and I did meet with Johnson Engineering and Dave Willems.
Willems is spelled W-I-L-L-E-M-S.
Willems. I always put it in okay.
That's in there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Chuck, I'll
Yeah. Got it.
On line 68, Mr. Willems voiced his, not her. I'm not sure he'd be happy with that.
maybe we should ask him.
Well, maybe we should. Voice their opinion. Let's, don't even go there. Okay.
84 and 88, Willems again.
Willems again.
And on page 3 in lines 78 and 79, it's South Florida, so make it southwest.
Oh, South Florida.
And S, not SW, for South.
South Florida, not Southwest.
Yeah, South Florida, yeah.
Line 101, Mr. Simonson. Was the board member.
Simonson. He wanted the side landscaping. Okay. I had nothing on page 4. Page 5. On line 182, Dennis, you're one N or two N's?
What? What, my mother?
And, okay, Oldani?
Yes.
Okay, that was line 182, please. She couldn't write two N's together?
No, it's a Catholic version.
Yeah, okay, that's right, St. Dennis, okay.
But no one names themselves, you know.
That's true, you didn't have a choice. None of us did. Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes from October as amended?
Motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes of the November meeting. Chuck was late, and Tyler filled in for Mr. Nixon, who was at the golf tournament. They did a good job based on my little notes.
I agree.
Line 57 is Miss Leon, not Mr.
It's a gender issue in today's minutes.
I'm sorry?
There's a gender issue in today's minutes.
Yes.
It's a gender thing. On line 92 on page 3, Weymouth has an A.
It's W, that's right, W-A, M-O-U-T-H. Okay. I had nothing on page 4.
Check on line 115, it's got land development order, limited development order, and for the LDO. Limited.
I may have said one.
Oh, it's limited? Okay. Can I have a motion to accept these minutes as amended?
Motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, now I have I put together the minutes from the meeting that we had with the HOA.
Workshop.
I'm sorry?
Workshop.
Workshop, yes. Okay. Anybody have any questions with that? Okay. It looks okay to me.
And hit the main points.
Yep,
I have one comment.
yes.
Whoever's idea was it to have this traffic hawk,
Yeah.
they are really smart. It can be very dangerous sometimes when you're driving a golf cart in the community, especially one of our golf carts. And I like this idea. I commend the HOA on their thoughts. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to accept the workshop minutes?
Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. What else do we have here? Okay. Tony, do you have anything else for us?
Yes, for your light reading pleasure, and what recognizing New Year's around the corner, the legislature, in their infinite wisdom last year, adopted legislation requiring board members of special districts to attend an ethics seminar or webinar. Since you are currently elected officers, you have until December 31st to complete this online. But anybody who's going to run for re-election who's up this year, we recommend you do it by July so that you can file it when you file for your, as a candidate.
Next year, December 31st, 2020.
24.
24.
But we recommend, if you're going to run for election, which is next year, that you complete the seminar or webinar by July of 2024. There are two websites. Pardon?
I said, and if you're not, no problem.
Well, but you still don't have to fill out the form. You still have to complete it. But you have until December, if you're not going to run. Now, and there are two courses I've given you links to, that one's $75, one's $79, which is kind of odd. The district would pay that expense. The Florida Association of Special Districts, and Chuck, I'm not sure if we're a member or not, is putting together a online course that my understanding is will be free to officers of members of FASD. So when that comes out, Chuck will probably get, I think they're going to be ready in January, February or something.
I believe that's the...
Is my understanding. So if you want to do the free one, not charge the district, wait till January, February, we'll get the information, and Chuck will, from FASD, and pass that along. As I said, it's 4 hours online. I don't know if it's one where you can pause and go back. I don't know if there are questions at the end, or you just have to mark a little box saying you completed it, and then they automatically get a little certificate by email or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to be taking it, though, because I get 4 hours continuing legal education credits for it.
Oh, okay.
Possibly, for some of them.
All right.
So this is, again, you're, at least you are not like members of city councils who are now required as of January 1st to file full financial disclosure that county commissioners do and legislators do, income over $1,000, the whole 9 yards. So a lot of these city council members of small cities around the state are going to hang it up.
Okay.
So that's all I have to report on.
Okay. More homework for us.
Like everybody said.
Sounds like we just need to wait until probably February.
Yeah.
I think it'd be just a heads up.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have a whole lot of time between now and the first of the year anyway.
And that's all.
Okay. Johnson's not here. Chuck, anything?
Nothing other than I did circulate under separate cover a copy of the irrigation disconnect list, total of 2.
2.
One of which I believe is still just sitting with a lien on their property that was placed there probably 10 or 12 years ago when we had the list of about 77 or 78. So
Well, it's been on there since I've been on the board. Okay.
that one will get cleaned up when he sells his home.
Yes. Okay. Adam, do you have anything?
Yeah, I've got 3 things. The first thing is, on Thursday at 11 o'clock, I've arranged a meeting for Jeff and John to meet with Traverse Technology. They are, I guess, a local technology company that specializes in deploying voice over IP phone systems.
Okay.
The goal here is to give them some options as far as like an integrated system where they can transfer calls to each other. I know John gets calls for people.
For tea times.
For tea times in the back. But now that he has like a stable internet, I think this might be a good play.
Okay.
The service that we're looking to bring in is Ring Central. It's a technology that I've used in one of my businesses for a little over 10 years. Is the ability to do calls, transfers, text messages, faxes, putting an IVR at the front. It records all calls. So as you guys know, we book about a third to half of our tea times in this call center. The calls would go to them. We can listen back to the calls if we have questions or concerns. And then we would have metrics, like we could see what the call volumes and stuff like that. So that's 11 on Thursday at the Duffy's right before our employee lunch. The second thing, I guess are just two talking points. One is, I noticed it looks like there's like 3 or 4 cars that regularly park in the Duffy's parking lot overnight.
Maintenance vehicles.
Yeah, maintenance vehicles and so forth.
We talked about that a few meetings back. Any action?
It's
What
not
do we
that
wanna
one
do?
guy, because I can't move that one guy, but, yeah, I can leave some,
You mean?
we'll have to,
Mancini,
Yeah,
yeah.
evidently.
we'll have to, we have the towing signs, so if they are habitual, then we'll put a notice on there that they can't have any overnight parking.
Okay.
So give them 24 hours.
Do you have those signs? Because maybe
To put on their windshield or something?
Danny could put on their windshield first thing in the morning when he comes in, or
Sure.
or John's group when they come in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it's a commercial vehicle, like, maybe reach out to the company, and just say, hey, this thing is parked
Definitely.
illegally, like,
If they have a logo and a phone
Yeah,
number, that'd
yeah.
be great.
Because I know there is somebody that lives at the end of my street that parks there.
Yeah.
Because they can't park in their driveway, and they can't
Park
fit it
there
in...
either, right?
Pardon me?
They can't park there.
They can't park in their driveway with the logo on it, and they have so much stuff in their garage, they couldn't even pull it in. So,
What do most people do? They park in like a storage
Or
facility?
Publix.
I guess, or Publix,
I've seen a lot of them in Publix.
Yeah.
I guess, does Publix allow it, or are they just charging them?
I guess I don't
think
know.
they mind, or Walmart, I know they.
You know, I do know that there was a vendor in the community that asked if they could park, you know, behind our gate, or, you know, park someplace else so that they didn't have to pay for storage, and, you know, we don't allow it, we don't want that responsibility, and no, they can't park up there.
Lisa, does the towaway zone, does it say no overnight parking on the sign?
I don't know. It might just say towing, you know, it might not be
I
specific.
think we may need to have a sign saying no overnight.
No overnight parking.
No,
So let's look at that.
I could get one for underneath that says no.
yeah, I'm not saying we need to do it, but like, we as a board voted for this, what do we want to do? So maybe the
Enforce
task
it.
for this is like, let's see what the sign says, and let's have the appropriate letter ready to go for the
Yeah.
next meeting.
I think you wanted to enforce it, so.
Yes.
The third thing that I just wanted to talk about was the Capital Project Series 2022-1 budget. Chuck, I just want to better understand what the guidelines are for eligibility for spending that money.
Generally described was landscaping improvements,
Okay?
paving, sidewalk, replacement repairs, and then we had contingency. It's pretty broad, so we can, and the very least, working with the bond council, we may even be able to expand that through an amendment to the engineer's report if we find something that doesn't really fit comfortably.
Yeah, just in knowing what's there, I came up with a couple of things in my kind of brainstorm, and I just wanted to, for our understanding, the aeration for all of the ponds, we've got 35 ponds.
Yeah, that doesn't fit comfortably.
It does not, okay.
Is that something that could be eligible? Sure. I'd say let's get through our projects and make sure we covered the primary items. We have some money left over rather than turn it back and expand the engineer's
I'm
report.
just looking at the boxes, they're rusted, you know, like, and is that part of our landscaping, you know, the ponds, you know?
Yeah, it's actually part of the responsibility we assign to the association through the agreement, which is for the stormwater pond maintenance. That's just part of the maintenance.
Okay. So the second one is like landscape it up around the front, and part of the reason that I asked for that map was like, we've got some landscaping around Duffy's that doesn't match, you know, some of the other stuff.
That's covered.
That is covered?
Covered, yeah.
Hole number 1, as you're kind of coming from the pro shop and crossing the street there's a massive drainage issue there. So like, as a part of the project that we're, like, I'm afraid if we do the milling and stuff like that and just replace back what we've got, we still have a huge, like, huddle there.
Right,
And there may be other places I'm not familiar with, but like, before we do the milling and do everything, it's like, engineer it so that it's fixed.
We're not doing the main road coming in, but are they doing anything with that sidewalk?
I don't that area.
No, I didn't, that wasn't part of it, but
What
we,
about the transition to it? I mean, can we,
So it was all roads except for that section because we had addressed that like 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay, gotcha, I gotcha.
But again, is it something that could qualify after the fact? Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay.
Something I'm sure has not taken place since we've assigned the responsibility to the association. I'm sure the drainage pipes have not been inspected.
Yeah.
Determine, do we have debris in there? Do we have
Yep.
any deterioration in the pipes that they need some repairs? And, you know, if we end up with $500,000 remaining rather than turning back, I think working with bond counsel
Counsel.
again and amend the engineer's report, we have those inspected and go through and start making some repairs. Because it is actually your assets.
Yeah, yeah.
The HOA, you're doing a drainage.
The project with the piping has been inspected, it was a 5-year plan. So some of it's been 5 years, some of it's been a few months. We've set it up to do again, but as we discussed in our workshop, we didn't know at that juncture that the roads weren't going to be done in a series. So we wanted to coordinate the inspection of the piping after the road was milled and et cetera. So now what we're going to do is still do it, but wait until each road gets milled and resurfaced, so that anything that does, I know everybody tries not to get anything down the storm source, but inevitably it's going to, can be taken care of at that juncture. So, but the area you're talking about is on those pavers. It's not on asphalt. That water, where there's pavers that is like a crosswalk, that's where the water settles, is in
Yeah.
those pavers.
Yeah.
Not in the asphalt or the storm gutter.
Right.
There's not even, I don't even think, I'm not 100% positive, but I don't even know that there's a storm gutter by this.
There's not.
There's
No,
not.
It's like there's a dip down in
Yeah,
there.
to me, that's not our responsibility.
That's
I
something
have
that we
to
can look
figure it
at
out,
after the
but,
fact.
You know, if those pavers, to me, need to be raised.
yeah.
I think they've sunk over the course of time, and there must be a sprinkler head there that accidentally, you know, waters it, gets it in, and it must drain that way, and it just sits there.
Historically,
almost every day.
that's been a bad spot, historically, right through there, all the way to the road. And we've had that lift station give us problems before, and we've had that flood before, and it's always been a problem, so that wouldn't be bad if they went in and did a complete overhaul of that whole section. I know a few years ago, when the former owner of the building they did some work on the lift station, and I would really advise that we have it inspected again and make sure it's right, because I have been here on the days when that lift station fails, and it's done exactly what you would call a
Pretty smell?
prime situation.
Yes.
A couple other ones here, Chuck, it's like the pier or the bridges or Colusia along the Miramar fence in areas that we didn't do. I mean, it's,
Clusia fits in nicely as a landscape improvement. The bridges are part of the golf course, so those don't fit in at all.
The pier is not ours.
And the pier, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we acquired the pier. Gotcha.
No.
I am glad to hear that they're doing some drainage pipe
Yeah.
inspection. That'd be some valuable information. So I'd say let's get through these primary projects, and in my mind, I'm very confident we're gonna have some leftover dollars.
yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of plant the seed so that other people can
Yeah.
start
And I
coming up
won't,
with.
yeah, right. And I'm thinking that if we do the fence around the property, that's landscaping.
Okay, yes, landscape and hardscape buffer, it's part of the
Right.
buffer, so
Okay.
I think that fits into that broad description. So,
Yes.
Great.
That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Bill?
I'm good.
Chris?
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet, you know, I think the holidays.
Good.
There's been some traffic, but nothing.
Nothing much. I have nothing. I would just like to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, safe holidays, Happy New Year, and Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah for those. cover all that, and can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? I never hear any opposed.